So my pleasure to be with all of you today. At our side is already Ekadashi, and we are still about to enter Ekadashi, TT. And it's very wonderful to be with holy people at a holy place, to get holy association and chant holy name. So we can take maximum profit from that bargain, even being such a long distance, and this time we cannot even come to each other. But as they say, who wants, he will find the opportunity. Who doesn't want, he will find the reason. So that's basically about love. No need to tell what has to be done for the people you love and expect. And that's what today I wanted to discuss with all of you about the essence of all Vedic teachings. Actually, what is the essence? Yam swanubhavam akilam shruti saram ekam. Shruti saram. What is the actual essence of all scriptures? All right. And I just thought what shloka we can read today. And I chosen one shloka from sixth canto, 10th chapter, shloka number 7 and 8. It's about Dadity Muni. When demigods, they had to fight with the difficulties of Ritrasura's Akraman. Okay, so we can read today from the 6th canto, chapter 10, shloka 7, 8. You can check it out. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Just to save time, I'll quickly read. Okay, so it's already here also. Shri Rishiruvacha Dharmam Bhakshrotu Kamena Yuyam Me Pratyudahritah Eshavah Priyam Atmanam Tyajantam Santyajanaham. The great sage Dadity said, just to hear from you about religious principles, I refuse to offer my body at your request. Now, although my body is extremely dear to me, I must give it up for your better purposes, since I know that it will leave me today or tomorrow. And text number 8. Yo dhruvinatmananatha na dharmam na yasah puman iheta bhuta dayaya sa suchya sthavarairapi. O demigods, one who has no compassion for humanity in its suffering and does not sacrifice his impermanent body for the higher causes of religious principles or eternal glory is certainly pitied even by the immovable beings. Stavarai. Purposed by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In regard, a very exalted example was said by Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and 6 Goswamis of Vrindavana. Concerning Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.34. Sudusraja surepshita rajya lakshmim dharmishta arya vachasa yatagat aranyam mayamrigam daitayepsitam anyadhavat vande mahapurushate charana ravindam. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord, upon whom one should always meditate. He left his householder life, leaving aside his eternal consort, whom even the denizens of heaven adore. He went into the forest to deliver the fallen souls who are put into illusion of material energy. To accept sannyasa means to commit civil suicide. But sannyasa is compulsory, at least for every brahmana, every first-class human being. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very young and beautiful wife, and a very affectionate mother. Indeed, the affectionate dealings of family members were so pleasing that even the demigods would not expect such happiness at home. Nevertheless, for the deliverance of all the fallen souls of the world, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and left home. When he was only 24 years old, he lived a very strict life as a sannyasi, refusing all bodily comforts. Similarly, his disciples, the 6 Goswamis, were ministers who held exalted positions in society. But they also left everything to join the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srinivasacharya says, Tyaktva turnamashesha mandalapati shrenim sadatu chavat bhutva dina ganesha kau karunaya kopi nakantha sritau. These Goswamis left their very comfortable lives as ministers, zamindars, and learned scholars, and joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement just to show mercy to the fallen souls of the world. Dina Ganeshakau Karunaya. Accepting very humble lives as mendicants, wearing no more than loincloth and torn quilts, Kopina Kantha. They lived in Vrindavana and followed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order to excavate Vrindavana's lost glories. Similarly, everyone else with the materially comfortable condition in this world should join the Krishna consciousness movement to elevate the fallen souls. The words Bhuta Dayaya, Mayamrikam, Dayapshitam, and Dina Ganeshakau Karunaya all convey the same sense. These are very significant words for those interested in elevating human society to a proper understanding of life. One should join the Krishna consciousness movement, following the examples of such great personalities as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the 6 Goswamis, and before them the great sage Dadity. Instead of wasting one's life for temporary bodily comforts, one should always be prepared to give up one's life for better causes. After all, the body will be destroyed. Therefore, one should sacrifice it for the glory of distributing religious principles throughout the world. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Yam Swanubhavam Akilam Shutisaramekam Adhyatmadi Pamatiti Tirthisatam Tamundham Samsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Sunu Payami Guru Muninam Mukham Karuti Vachalam Palgum Langayate Girim Tat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinatarini Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadatau Sankirtanai Kapitaro Kamala Yatakshu Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we can see in this particular topic was Dadity Muni, who sacrificing his life for the benefit of others. Samsarinam karunaya. Why? Because somebody in difficulties, and his motivation is to help. Compassion. This is a quality of actually saintly person. Titikshavaha karunika sukhridam sarva bhutanam ajata shatra vasantaha sadhava sadhu bhushanaha. Titikshava, he is tolerant. Karunika, merciful. Sukhridam sarva bhutanam. He is friend to all living entities. Therefore, in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna explains that everybody dear to my devotee, and my devotee is very dear to everyone. Maitrah karuna evacha. Advyeshya sarva bhutanam. Maitrah karuna evacha. In 12th chapter, it's explained that qualities which make somebody very, very dear to Krishna. He is non-envious, and he is very merciful to everyone. He is friend, Maitrah karuna evacha. He is friendly and compassionate to everyone. So what makes actually person to be compassionate is not just the Kawa to impress some local TV station to get interview or likes on internet. No, actually, I was analyzing that what is the essence of all Vedic scriptures? In fact, it is explained that essence of every religious practice or every tradition is to achieve love. Because love, this is a basic principle of material deficiency. People looking for some love. In Sanskrit, there are two words. One is Ananda. Everybody heard his name, Ananda. Ananda Ambudivardhanam Vijayati Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Ananda means bliss, which person feeling out of great love. Love gives person feeling of Ananda. But there is opposite word in Sanskrit, which is Sukha. Sukha is a word which we experiencing in daily life, mundane feeling. In fact, Sukha comes from the very selfish and egoistic behavior. I want that, I want this. So, it's basically on the level of Annamaya platform. And all spiritual practice means growing from selfishness of taking, like baby, always me, me, me. Even spiritually, sometimes people trying to come to spiritual process and they coming, Om Putram Dihi, Rupam Dihi, Genam Dihi, Shantim Dihi, give me, give me, give me, give me. It's not very bad, it's okay, but it is still childish stage. Until unless person will learn how not to take but to give, he will remain child, even he is 40, 50, 60 years old. Very, very, demanding, selfish child. So, but consciousness of spiritualist must be of giving. Ultimately, Caitanya Mahaprabhu explains that ultimate consciousness means Bharate Bhumite Manusya Janma Hoila Jai, Janma Sartakari Kari Para Upakar. So we have to do pious activities for the welfare of others. You see, we can talk what is a real welfare. Krishna explains in 10th canto Bhagavatam when he describes the trees. When they're entering the scout boys in Vrindavana, Krishna sees the beautiful Kalpavriksha trees and he glorifies them. And he says, as a trees, as a saintly people, they serving to others by their bark, by their fruits, by their shadow, by their wood, giving everything practically. Manasa deha geha jo kichu more arpilutu apadinanda kishore. They're completely surrendering like saintly people. Like we did read now in commentary, Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set the example, Goswamis, 6 Goswamis, Mahajanoyi Nagata Sapanta. So they made their path, which actually exemplary for everyone. They were grihastas, they were busy people, very, very educated people, no excuse. But how to do it properly? It doesn't mean that everybody, overnight, everybody have to take sannyas and leave their houses and families. No, not at all. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not encouraging also everyone to become sannyasi. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see that he gives different instructions to different people. Some of them, yes, he told, okay, take sannyas and go to Vrindavana, make temples and write the books. But some of them, he said, go to home, like Kurma Brahmana. He said, you stay home. Grihe taku bone taku sada hari bole daku. You stay at home and deliver your place, your country. Yarite hatareka Krishna upadesh. And if you'll do that, if you just simply try to preach about, give Krishna knowledge to others. So, your Mayra Taranga, the waves of Maya will never touch you. Nothing. I'll become your kavach. That preaching activity is actually kavach. And you'll be always getting my association. Pabera Mora Sangha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you can simply preach and it give this knowledge to others, you will be very dear to me and you will always be with me. You see? So that's very interesting. Sacrifice your time for giving Krishna to others. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paru, tomara shakatyachi. So this is a business of Vaisnava. As in the memory of His Holiness Bhakticaro Maharaj, who now praying for all of us was Krishna. So he used to say that all living entities, we have 5 rasas with Krishna usually, right? He was always preaching that. We have Dasyarasa, we have Shantaras, neutral relationships. We have Dasyarasa as a servant. But higher than that and better than that, more colorful is Sakya-rasa, friendly relationships, where you can even wrestle and fight with Krishna. Gali pani de sakte hain Bhagavan ke liye. You can even sometimes fight with him verbally. Higher than that, it's Vatsalya Rasa. You can even bind Krishna by rope of love. And higher than that is Madhurya, conjugal love. You can make very, very intimate relationship with Krishna. But His Holiness Bhakticaro Maharaj said, but there is higher rasa, even higher rasa, which is not available everywhere, even in the spiritual world. It's such a unique rasa that even in spiritual world you cannot get that rasa with Krishna. He said, this is 6 rasa. 6 rasa means preaching rasa. Preaching rasa, because preaching not available in spiritual world. It's only in material world where people forgotten about Krishna. And that actually great feeling when devotees can go anywhere, even to hell. As Lord Shiva explains in 6th canto Bhagavatam. Narayana parah sarve na kutaschana vidhyati swarga pavarga narakesh apitulyartha darshinaha. Apitulyartha darshinaha. So they equally looking in the spiritual world, swarga, or even hell. For Krishna, they can go anywhere. And for his children. In fact, we can see that all these big words we can speak, right? But where is that love? And love is the goal of all scriptures, in fact. One very great sannyasi, Prabodhananda Saraswati, he wrote very wonderful shloka. Vanchatosmi, vanchatosmi, vanchatosmi na samshayaha, vishwa ghura na sammagna, sparshopi mam anabhavat. He said that vanchatosmi, vanchatosmi, vanchatosmi na samshayaha. He said, I was cheated, I was definitely cheated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vishwa ghura rasam magna. All the world was flooded with rasa, with love. But I didn't get even 1 drop of that. Even 1 drop I didn't get. Why? Because, of course, in his humble state of life, he says, said, my heart is very like stone-like. I am not qualified to receive that. You see? And what is that? The aim of all yoga, in fact, love, as I said, no? But according Patanjali, classical, of course, yoga means connection, right? Huge. Connection our consciousness with God, with divine. Huge. But definition, classical definition of yoga by Patanjali Nirishi. He says, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So we have to purify our vasanas, all chitta, all our subtle body and our consciousness has to be purified from all impurities. Nirodha. So basically it said, before we want to get that love, because love, prema pumarthamaha, it was taught to us by Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who left everything to teach us that love. It was taught by Jesus Christ. It was actually taught by all Vedic scriptures. We have to love God most of all. But problem is, as I'm always telling the story of Buddha, of the king who came to him and he told, hey, Sadhu, I want some answers. And Lord Buddha said, I don't have time for you. And king said, why you don't have time? You are monk. We have now lockdown, 24 hours, coronavirus, nothing to do. And you don't have time? What is this? Of course, it's Patri Samhita Tatpare. Lord Buddha, he was sitting under the tree. He was 24 hours free. But king, he challenged him. Oh, Sadhu, give me some answer. And Lord Buddha looked at him and said, no, my dear king, I don't have time for you. Why? And he said that people, they're like glasses, you know. Some people bringing glass and putting upside down. Such glass cannot be receiver of the milk, of the Ananda, of the mercy of Sadhu. And that upside down means people become proud. I know that. Okay, tell me. I am Hindu, I am Pandit, I am what, this, that. And they already locked their door. As His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu says, 3 locks. I know that. And if that subtle consciousness setup is there, you know, mixed and permanently fixed already, so such a person will never be able to receive anything else. Pride. So knowledge starts with humility. Second is people bringing glass full of holes, and through those holes, like doubts. Samshayatma vinashyati. In glass full of broken glass is also useless. You cannot give anything there. And third glass is glass filled with garbage. So much garbage there, and people still want to put some milk on the top. It will be of no use. So therefore, Patanjali Rishi also explains that Chitta Vritti Nirodha means we have to purify our heart from different negative, egoistic mentalities, you know, egoistic mentalities. Ego means we want to do for ourselves only. iPhone, iTorch, iPod, etc., etc. And when we are given chance, Krishna giving us a chance to do something selflessly. Ahaituki apratihata yatma suprasidati. Ahaituki. Actually, that's the highest definition of dharma. Samay pumsam paro dharmo yadho bhagdir adokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So Atma can become very happy if we can learn how to do things selflessly for others. And therefore Krishna says in Bhagavatam 10th canto, he says, Etavam janma safalyam dihinam ihadehishu praner arthar dhiya vacha ashriyam saranam sada. He says, pranay arthar dhiya vacha. Pranay means your life. Pranay arthar, finance, money, artha. Dhiya, intelligence, and vacha, by your vakya, speech. You have to use it for the benefit of others in this world. And in fact, when we can see that love is something that is selfless. Once there's one story when it was one very, very expert carpenter in the company. He was doing such a super houses, very super houses. And you know, nowadays it's very, very prestigious to make very cheap but sustainable, beautiful carving houses in Nepal. Here, people are very expert by carving the wood and making very efficient houses very quickly. So it was one such a carpenter, and he was making these houses like anything, and he was very dear and valuable man for the company. And one day this carpenter, he was doing AAA first-class houses. But one day he became very old and he was about to retire. So he came to the boss and said, boss, I am about to retire now. Time is up. So please give me relief from the company. But boss didn't want to lose him and said, okay, can you do at least, please, one more house? Don't live like that. Please do something very nicely, one time more. And this man was thinking, oh, right, okay. But his mindset was selfish. He was thinking about himself, how he will retire, how he will relax, how he will take a happy time, sukha time. And he was doing this last house very, very tipsy-turvy, like very, very nakharka. He was just doing this just to quickly complete it and to get relief and get his salary and leave. So usually he used to do houses by 6 months. This particular house, last one, he was thinking, jaldi kiya jaye, bas bhag yahan se. So he was making like quickly and make it 3 months. And he was using very third-class materials, very, some old nails. And anyway, all became very third class because he wanted just selfishly run away quickly. And when he completed, reluctantly, he handed the keys to the boss and said, boss, can I go now? And boss said, well, our dear friend, you work so hard for our company. So our company decided to give this house to you as a gift. We just simply wholeheartedly knew that you're doing such a first-class job. So we really wanted first-class house for yourself. Please, this house for you. And this man said, oh no, you should have been told me before. Why you didn't tell me before? I could spend 2 years by making this house, not 6 months, but I did it in 3 months. So therefore, similar situation with all of us. Very often what happens that we are working very hard for ourselves, but we're forgetting that we're not doing first-class job. When we are trying to help all world, we are trying to save all world materially, but when time comes, we actually did of no good to our eternal benefit. Natividu Swarthagati Vishnu. What is our Swarthagati? And Swarthagati basically is to please Krishna. To please Krishna. To please Krishna means Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. That's the main business of every scripture. Because we came to this world, Aaye so jayega rajarang fakir, jo sinhasan chanchale bandi jan janjir. So everybody going to leave from this place like passengers, you see. But if we able, in this short life, if person will be able to dedicate his energy for understanding higher cause, so he will get eternal benefit. Because we are here for few afternoons only. And that fearlessness comes when we become very dear to Krishna. You see, it is said, recently it was one article, and we had one article, and that explained that scientists actually, they found some research that those people who satisfying their desires in this material world, their immune system and health becomes weak. Those who always satisfy their own desires, their immune system become weak, and they become very much prone for different diseases, including coronavirus, by the way. And those people, those who selflessly trying to serve humanity, their immune system becomes strong, amazingly enough. That selflessness makes people more committed, more, how to say, more strong. And, their life increases. Those who are selfless people. So this is selfless love, in fact, making person more satisfied. You see that when we have that love, that generator, that powerhouse inside, love, Krishna says, those who love me, they love all creation, being as a part and parcel. And that love, in fact, can make person cool in any situation. You see, interesting. Somebody was saying, yesterday we had one interview, and in that interview, Prabhu once said, oh, people in Bali are more fortunate because they don't have that coronavirus, they don't have carrying the masks over there, and they are simply drinking Pepsi Cola there and just some lassi. They're so lucky, not like us. But you see, it's a very interesting point. that sometimes people very narrow-minded, they can see only immediate cause and effect. But some years ago, few years ago, in Bali, it was volcano, you know, from one mountain, I forgot the name. It was volcano came out. And that Bali was beautiful picnic place. Samudra, ocean, became like hell. So that heaven became the hell some years ago. And people in different countries, they were thinking, oh, very nice that I am not in Bali. And now situation changing a little bit. And just because there is less coronavirus in Bali than in US or in Kazakhstan, for example, people thinking, oh, Bali people so fortunate. But it's very, very temporary, very, very narrow judgment of karma, of this law of God. But I wanted to give you an example that, for example, people going, say, in Bali or Thailand because of beautiful ocean there. But in that ocean, if waves on the top, there's big, big waves, as we saying in the fourth canto Bhagavatam, Prithu Maharaj, he says that great yogis, they cannot control the waves of material existence, lust, greed, anger. They cannot control. While devotees, those who are taking shelter and going deep in Krishna consciousness, they taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, they can control very easily. So similarly, people, those in the waves of ocean, they always disturbed by the waves. But those people who going like 3-5 meters down, you can find out peace and calm of the ocean. Very peaceful. Same ocean, same Bali, but situation different. Similarly, person, when we're going a little bit deeper in understanding, spiritual understanding, if we can go deep down in the heart, and we can take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna and develop a relationship with Krishna, then that, what you call self-protected program inside, that love will generate happiness in our heart, susukham kartuma vyayam, in such a big abundance that we'll be feeling like to distribute it to others, in spite of the situation, whether it's coronavirus or this bhukam or earthquake or tsunami, any kind of material difficult situation will not become the cause of disturbance, because we are deep down. As one of our saintly person, Indra Prabhu, he said, don't go fast, go deep. And what does it mean to go deep? Situation in this world, every day we are singing Samsara Dava Nalalita Loka. It's like Davagni, forest fire, very hot. Kamagni, Krodagni, Lobagni, Irshagni, so much heat. But when you're driving the car in very high heat, plus 50, but inside your car you have AC, air conditioned, then you are cool, you are protected, you're not dependent on external situation, because in your particular car you have AC installed. And all of us, we have AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So we have to install Srila Prabhupada's teachings in our heart, and to develop that love. We have to develop that love for Guru and Krishna. And once we actually really develop that feeling, then out of love, we can overcome all difficulties. In 7 Canto Bhagavatam, I believe 15 chapter, text number 25, Narada Muni explains that there is so many problems in life, so many of them. And to overcome greed, lust, anger, hunger, so many things he tells how to overcome. But he said all these difficulties can be actually overcome if you simply serve spiritual master and please him. To please spiritual master, it means you can get the same benefit what spiritual master gets from Krishna, and you can be introduced to Krishna by spiritual master of selfless service. As Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he used to say, you cannot become a member of any secret club, like I've seen in US, also in New York, in Los Angeles, Mason Lodge, they said like Jewish societies or some very secret business societies, like secret, very, very secret societies, not everybody allowed there. But that society or Royal Club, for example, like Rotary Club or Lions Club in India, you cannot become member of that club unless you are invited by one of the members of that club. unless you are invited to that club. So similarly, we cannot become society of Krishna's club in Goloka Vrindavana unless somebody from that society will recognize our qualities and those qualities which will be very valuable for that club. Then members of that club, they can recognize and notice you and can invite you as a member. So we have to be recognized by Krishna and company. You see, and that recognition can be only if we can have certain qualities which can be taught by spiritual master. In material world, everybody is selfish, fish in the cell, very selfish. Even spiritually, everybody born selfish. As we discussed yesterday with some devotees, that in spiritual world, living entity want to serve Krishna, want to see him happy by our service, and dedicate their life to Krishna completely. But here in this material world, everything is self-centered. Everybody in the center, all world revolving around me. And that tremendous change can take place only when devotee coming in contact with, when person, living entity comes in contact with devotee. Sincere, honest devotee who is practicing selflessly Krishna consciousness. If living entity very fortunate, Brahmanda Brahmete Kono Bhagyavana Jiva, Prasada Krishna Gurupaya Bhakti Lata Bija, that slight contact with devotee will start to make this living entity feel something special, which he never felt before. That, special feelings in the heart, because it's called Shakti Parinamavada, transformation of energies. And that energy will be installed by Lavamatra Sadhu-Sanga Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Little bit association with devotees can get that spark of and ignite our bhakti inside heart. But by that time, we have to become free from envy and impurities in our heart. That's why yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, we have to purify it by that. All those processes, we have to have, as they say in Nepali, malilo mato, very fertile soil. Fertile soil. When that bhakti lata will be placed there, it will sprout. Unfortunately, as Jesus Christ says in Bible, sometimes the seed can be thrown, but it falls into the water or in the fire or in a dry soil. It never sprouts. But devotees selflessly, they actually, to please Krishna, he says in Bhagavad-Gita, that they going and trying to reach out all living entities just to give this chance. And that tremendous change can take place only under the guidance of spiritual master. Prabhupada said yesterday, I read in the 4th canto Bhagavatam, 28th chapter, about how Puranjana becomes Vaidarbhi next life. And he also, next life, he became woman and he got married with Malayadvaja. So Prabhupada very nicely explains the relationship between disciple and guru. So sacrifice. We have to sacrifice our life, but not in comfortable house environment with plus 25-degree temperature. No. Prabhupada said, as a granite or koila, black koila, under the specific environment and pressure can become diamond. And diamond can shine from different direction. Beautiful. So similarly, that quality, we may or may not be qualified. That's one thing. But when we have the love for Krishna, then anything can happen. Really, anything can happen. And I would like to conclude with few stories. In fact, there is one real story I read in business magazine. Somebody was telling me, a very, very, very famous businessman in Europe, in Amsterdam. He was actually a goldsmith businessman. And he had one wonderful diamond, cat eye, whatever. And he wanted to sell that diamond. And he wanted to sell the diamond, but there is no customers, you see, because very, very costly. So he gave this advertisement with the photo in the business magazine, World Business Magazine. And one businessman from Africa, he found that photo and he found it very interesting. Okay, let me come and look. So he flew to Amsterdam and he informed the businessman that I am coming. Please get ready. And the businessman, he put very nice box and velvet cloth and a nice light, everything to present that diamond. When the businessman from Africa reached, one very expert, technician, he was presenting this stone for nearly 40-45 minutes. Different light, different angles, how many carats, how were the colors. And after 45 minutes, this businessman from Africa, he kind of liked it, but he was not impressed much. Not to buy that diamond. It's beautiful, but not as beautiful to buy for me. And he was about to leave, but then the shopkeeper who invited him called him, "Excuse me, sir, can I have 2 minutes from you?" Said, "What?" Said, "I am actually the shopkeeper who invited you. So it's diamond belonged to me." "Oh, really? Okay, what do you want?" "I want to present you something." So, "All right, but only 2 minutes." And he took the diamond in the hands. He just took the diamond in the hands. No light, no decorations, nothing. He just took the diamond, and in 2 minutes, he explained him in his own words about the beauty of this diamond. And this businessman became so impressed that he said, "Okay, I like this diamond now. I really want to buy. Money is not the question," right? So he wrote the check. And while writing the check, he became surprised. He said, "Excuse me, just now this guy was presenting for me for 45 minutes. I didn't get that much impression. But you told me only 2-3 minutes, and I was so impressed, so I just want to buy it. Is there any secret?" So that businessman, he said, "Yes, there is a secret. And I can tell you because you are a customer, you are buying this jewel. Otherwise, I'm not telling anyone, but to you, I will tell." You see, that technician who was presenting to you about this diamond, he is the most expert in Amsterdam. And I'm paying him double salary, like to normal shop. He's very, very expert. He knows everything about stones. Even I don't know as much as he knows. He did Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, stones, Bhakti Vaibhava, everything he did. He knows so many shlokas. He's snoring in Sanskrit. He's speaking about diamonds at night even. He knows, such an expert. I don't know that much. So that guy who's presenting to you, he knows about stones, everything. But I love them. That's my qualification. I just love them. I cannot help myself. I love those. And if you love something or somebody, if you love something and somebody, then you like to do the best what you can. All good arts, all good poetry happen as a result of love, overflowing the love. Nobody can, but if somebody is very, very conjuice, egoistic, shrink at heart, very small hearted, they'll be always in anxiety. Asat graha, as Prahlad Maharaj says, they will be always vimudha, they will become asat graha because they're taking shelter, which is actually temporary. And very simple Vedanta Sutra explains the definition of God. God is the one who creates everything. Everything emanates from whom? Who maintains and destroys everything. And that can be done. Who can create something such a beautiful unless he has love for his children? And he maintains. You cannot father and mother maintain the family because they love children and family. Irresponsible father, he just run away, or mother run away because they don't have love. But somebody who has love, he maintains. And actually, destruction also happens out of love. Because whatever is temporary will be destroyed. As the Bible also says, whatever is permanent always exists. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna, "My dear Arjuna, Naham Natvam Named Janadipaha." He says, Natvavayam Janadipaha. He says that not you, not me, not these kings will cease to exist. They're eternal. But this material world is always changing. So all the temporary we are taking shelter will be destroyed, including this body. It's temporary. We came inside, it's going to be destroyed. So don't take shelter of this body. Take shelter of something higher. And that's why Krishna, like loving father, taking us by the ear and giving so many tests to shake us out from this bodily concept, actually. And therefore, if somebody got that message and he prepared his heart to receive that love, and he has that love makes person selfless, really. It cannot be imitated, of course, but that's what our goal. And we can see this by following the examples of our great acharyas. We need somebody in our, and this transformation from granite to diamond comes under tremendous pressure. We need to have pressure. As it is said that somebody told to Srila Prabhupada, you know, your foreigner disciples, they are like koila, black. Prabhupada said, that's okay, but under certain pressures, they will become diamonds. If you can simply clean the diamond with some toothbrush, if you can take koila, you know, black koila, and clean it with brush, it will not help. With some Anulom Vilom Bastrika and just doing some push-ups and physical exercise gym, it will never help. But under the guidance of spiritual master, under the pressure, and Guru throws you to the fire of preaching in most difficult situation, and person willingly taking inconveniences to be helpful in the preaching mission, because this is very, very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna himself says, Nachatasmat manusheshu kaschit mat priya krittamaha. Those who are giving the science to others, there is no more dear to me than such a person. In 12th chapter, he says, so many qualities which can make person very dear to God. But one quality he keeps for the last, cherry on the top. In 18th chapter. In 12th chapter, he mentioned the list of qualities which can make person very dear to God, to him. But one quality he specifically kept at the end. But those who are preaching the science to others, they are no more dear to me than such people. Dhurijajanaha, tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. So they're taking these inconveniences, tapo divyam putrakayana sattvam, to deliver this knowledge. And that person, he actually becomes a recipient. Prasada lesha nugrihita eva hi janati tattvam. Prasada lesha, he becomes recipient. And as a small reminder about the story, I was thinking about how love can conquer even God. Our goal of life to get the love. But actually, love, that's what Krishna also wants. Krishna himself wants love. So love is the penetrating, and this world created because of love. And Krishna also hankering for the love of his devotees. And that devotees, that love only in the heart of those devotees who surrender and sacrifice their life for Krishna. So Krishna sacrificed his everything for such devotees. In how many of you been in Udupi? Udupi Krishna? Yes. So if you have seen Udupi Krishna, there is very wonderful, is Kanaka Gate. Kanaka Gate. This one was great devotee Kanaka. I will not tell you the story in the detail, but we can keep some time for the questions and answers. But just to mention that it was one Kanaka, he was great warrior, but after some time he became great poet. And once Krishna came to him in dream and revealed himself in the form of small boy. So he really wanted to meet him, and he went to the temple. Because temples actually made not for us to see Krishna, but to give opportunity for Krishna to see us. We don't have eyes to see Krishna actually, but we are coming to temple and to making available ourselves so Krishna can see your servant came. So Kanaka, he was very eager to see Krishna. When he came to the gate of Udupi temple, he was not allowed because he was kind of from low caste or something. So it was contaminating temple according to those concepts. So Kanaka, he was disappointed and he went behind the temple, and he started to compose many bhajans and songs. He wrote many songs. But one of the songs was, he said, we all drinking the same water and breathing the same air, but somebody thinking somebody is better, somebody worse. Somebody thinking somebody greater than somebody else. Somebody putting himself on first position, somebody putting everybody last position. What a surprising thing. Somebody low caste, somebody high caste. That's the real confusion. And therefore, and he was praying, of course, and after sometimes Krishna wanted to see darshan of his devotee. And that even the wall, it was one night, it was thunderbolt, like storm, and thunder went, and electricity hit the temple, and next morning everybody saw that the wall was cracked, and the hole was just opposite the place where Kanaka was sitting. He was praying these bhajans and meditating, and Krishna just turned back to see his devotee. And all those brahmanas came, and they were surprised that even they didn't allow him to see God himself want to come down to see his devotee. So like that, this is the principle actually. And that gift was given to us by Srila Prabhupada. That not available anywhere, but because somebody is in 6th rasa with Krishna, preaching rasa, for the benefit of all devotees, you know, all people. Srila Prabhupada went to America, and he found all of us. We are actually having chance to sit with each other and continue this legacy leaving behind by Srila Prabhupada, because it was a tremendous sacrifice once done by somebody. And if somebody willing to be in front line and to give opportunity for people to connect with Krishna, that connection, devotee even himself, he doesn't know how many people he may touch, how many hearts he can touch. He's just simply representing Krishna. And that's the most wonderful activity. And here, Dadity Rishi, he actually, I would like to read, we can conclude with reading one paragraph, one few lines from the same chapter, just one shloka before. Can you read 10:6? I will read for you. This is shloka where Srila Prabhupada, when he explains commentary, he says his essence of Krishna consciousness is Prabhupada pouring his heart. Listen to this. Prabhupada writing, at the present moment, the entire world is in dangerous position under the spell of the godless civilization. The Krishna consciousness movement needs many exalted, learned persons who will sacrifice their lives to revive God consciousness throughout the world. We therefore invite all men and women advanced in knowledge to join the Krishna consciousness movement and sacrifice their lives for the great cause of reviving the God consciousness in human society. And that's the real vaccination, this antivirus against any virus and in any waves of material world, which can make devotees happy and others also happy around. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Yeah, there's a question in the chat box. No, there is no question. There was a comment. Any questions, anybody? Please raise your hand if you have a question. I'd like to start with one. Patri Prabhuji, you gave an example of waves, high waves in Bali in the ocean. And right. You mentioned that if you go deeper, then it's quieter underneath. I mean, if one takes that example, one may say that if you go deeper, then you're probably going to drown in that kind of a wave, in that storm. So in these times, in such troubled times, if you go deeper, you know, if I take the same example.
When we're going deeper, so what's the question? How to go deeper? For that, you have to have oxygen. You know, they have this pipe, oxygen pipe. Sometimes water divers, you know, sometimes they going from the ship and they have this oxygen pipe. And then especially I've seen this in the companies, some construction companies, sea construction, they doing something and people have special equipment. In Russian we call it vodolas, means what called divers, deep divers. And they're having oxygen pipe connecting them with the main ship. And they're going down, they may be very, very expert. They may be very, very, very super engineers and in their own area, but they should never be proud of their capacities under the water, because they should always remember they completely depend on that oxygen pipe. However nice and expert they may be, without that pipe, if the pipe disconnected, they'll drown, as you said. So if you really want to go deep, we need to have that oxygen pipe of Krishna Katha association. Tulayama lavinapina swargam na punarbhava Bhagavad-Sanga sangasya. That constant association, inspiration from the spiritual oxygen, which can give us that strength to go deeper and deeper. It's like, like that. When you're coming and you want to save people, somebody drowning, you and you're diving and you're saving so many other people. But by saving them, you also can run out of oxygen. So you need to get that support, life support. So that oxygen is association. As we always say, that's example of kabaddi, 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 kabaddi. You're taking the oxygen, and then you can pull as many big people on your side from Maya. But if you don't have oxygen yourself, you'll be easily pulled on that side and drown. So that's what I strongly believe, that by seeing the example of some prominent devotees, those who are a little bit ahead of us, and we are connected to them by service, and by service we can get the inspiration. By reciprocating with that, some people thinking, okay, we're getting inspiration by simply listening MP3 player lectures from desire.com or ISKCONDesire3.com. You can listen to these lectures. No. Listening is one thing. But it's very, very important also reciprocation. Tadviti pranipatina pariprasnena sevaya upadikshantiti jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So that oxygen communication between the devotees, reciprocation, is very, very essential. That's why I really very much appreciate these lectures, like with you, even though it's a little inconvenient, morning time, you can say, well, Ekadashi, so many things. But at the end of the day, what we have each other, actually. We have each other. You are there in the ocean, I am here in the ocean, deep down. But because we have this oxygen connection, you see, that's why we're getting inspiration and trying to inspire each other before we expire. Be inspired before you expire. And therefore, this is a really beautiful thing. It is said, if you really want to go fast, you have to go along. But if you want to go far, you have to go together. So that's actually the gift given to us by Srila Prabhupada in the form of Sadhu-Sanga, which can give us this oxygen to go deeper in Krishna consciousness, not just to be on the surface of just, oh, how are you? To say thank you. Once Gaur-Gopal Prabhu was also mentioning, he said, to say thank you is easy. Thank you, like this. Chika marne ke liye. But to mean thank you, it's another thing. But to leave thank you, it's actually the purpose of life. We have to be thankful to God. We have to be thankful for everyone. We have to be grateful. You see, for even drop of association, drop of mercy. We have to be grateful to God for giving us this life, because we may not wake up tomorrow. Who knows? But there is any calamity. So therefore, this oxygen to go deeper as much as we can, only by the mercy of Guru Sadhu in Shastra. Srila Prabhupada gave us the scriptures. We have to read regularly. To get the oxygen, we have to get some nourishment from scriptures. We have to get association from Sadhu. And we have to chant holy name. Sadhu-Sanga nama kirtan, Bhagavad-Shravan, Marturava, Sri Murtira Sadaisavan. So that's the oxygen which can help us to go deeper. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. And at the same time, we look for good lectures. We look for good kirtans to feel inspired. But what is the art of self-motivation or self-inspiration? We can't be depending on Patri Prabhuji's class every time. I can't depend on him to be with me all the time. You inspire me, but how do I keep myself self-motivated and self-inspired to be able to do more than just the bare minimum? What is the art of?
Prabhuji, it's very, very nice. I thought about this as well myself, but it's never happens overnight. It's something to be practiced. Abhyasa yoga yuktam amicchatum dhananjaya. We have willingly First of all, my understanding is like that. When we see somebody in front of us as a role model, right? We inspired by somebody, and we actually willing to see Krishna through his eyes. We want to feel Krishna and reciprocate with Krishna through his heart. We want to be kind of following that person, not only just listening to theoretical lectures, but we really want to get some qualities from that person, like he has, because he is very dear to Krishna. So I really want to become like him, at least to some extent. And by serving devotees, by practicing that, because we can see, like, for example, His Holiness Bhakticaro Maharaj, just look at what an example. Samsarinam Karunaya, and his last lectures, he is saying, well, we are not here to chup chap sitting in Radhakunda and do them shnik shnik hiri hiri brum brum bhajans, and Prabhupada didn't want that. We want to go in front line and give Krishna to others. And he actually did it. You see, Prabhupada called him, of course. But he showed the example, selfless preaching. Prabhupada was in the same mood when he was leaving this world. He said, I want to go to London. And he did went. But unfortunately, he started to break down too quickly, so they had to bring him back. But he did went to London because he wanted to be available for his devotees, for others, to give Krishna. He said, I want to leave this world like a kshatriya who is even killed, but he is still waving his hand with a sword, hoping to catch somebody else and kill somebody else. Similarly, devotee, till last breath, he wants to preach. So maybe at last moment, he will give some seed of bhakti to somebody. You see? And similarly, somebody cannot preach, somebody can work, somebody can do anything. No need to tell what has to be done. Everybody knows his own capacity. But what we have to do is like gym. We have to exercise. You cannot do selflessly anything unless you really have some appreciation, affection, and if not love to somebody. And you have to choose everyone, have each one preach one, being taught by one, as His Holiness Jayataka Maharaj says. So we have to develop relationship with devotees. And it's called Swajatiya. Snigdha. It's love. Snigdha in Sanskrit also means oil. Oil means like sometimes doors, when you're opening the door, because of that some kind of devices, too much, old already. But when you're putting oil inside that, mechanism, it's not anymore producing sound. It becomes very smooth and no sound, very peaceful. Similarly, if relationship between devotees like oily, so they're not scratching, not fighting, they become very smooth. And then everything follows out of heart, priti lakshanam. So that's, Rupa Goswami gave us the secret. Dadati pratigrihanati guhyamachati prichati bhungte bhajayati seva sadviti priti lakshanam. And we are practicing the selflessness beginning with devotees. God is somewhere in the sky, that's okay. But we can never know how to serve selflessly to the Lord unless we learn and practice every day to serve devotees. Depends. It's like gym, 5 kilo, 10 kilo, 20 kilo. I got some, weightlifting, iron stuff still. So we can practice, otherwise muscles become very much useless. You have to exercise the muscles to make them always ready for the action. Similarly, if you're not practicing Krishna consciousness, and also I give an example, when rain coming too much, like now we have heavy rain in Nepal. So we have to keep on the roof of our building pipes, When rain coming, we have to make sure that water also going sometimes out. Don't keep everything on the roof. You have to let water going out, otherwise your roof will break down. So similarly, somebody has so much knowledge, somebody has so much capacities, somebody has some financial resources, somebody has talents. You have to share it with others. Don't keep it for yourself selflessly. So that's why to become selfless, when you start to give more and more at one particular point, I cannot explain how it happens in my life, for example, but you start to feel super by giving everything to others. It becomes kind of sense enjoyment, spiritual enjoyment by serving others sincerely. Sincerely. I remember I was studying when I was in maybe 25 years, 3 years in Russia. I make one small photos, small photos, small pictures, and I really make these photos and of Krishna or some different cards, and I was giving to everyone. I learned this from one old lady in our temple. She was so damn old already, maybe 80 years old, but she could not do any seva. But you know what? She used to take her pension, and half pension she used to spend in buying something from their shop, Vaisnava shop, some stickers, some, some photos, some stickers, some different gifts. And she used to give these photos to the devotees, each and every devotee, like children. And small thing, but it was so pleasing. And all devotees just loved her. One drop of affection from each and every devotee, and you can have big bucket of mercy. So to please everyone, it's not difficult at all. Devotees, they don't need much. They need maybe extra paneer in sabji. And real reciprocation happens. What reciprocation happens? Between people, those who are not dependent on love, they don't have this deficiency, love deficiency. Oh, I'm so bad. I need love, I need affection. He wants to become still centered, another extreme. As Bhaktitirtha Maharaj said, don't think less about yourself. Simply less think about yourself. Oh, I'm less, I'm so bad. You are nothing the most, Prabhupada said. Somebody came and said, Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. Prabhupada said, you are nothing the most. The most is Krishna. You are simply insignificant. What we can do, we have to serve devotees, others, as we can. And by seeing that enthusiasm, devotees will be very happy, and they will bless always. And then from small, you can say photo, from small gift, you can go to the upgrade yourself, give bigger gift, give even more bigger gift, until we can give, okay, let me give my body everything for the mission. That's how it happens. It's not happen immediately, but we have to practice. Practice makes man perfect. And Prabhupada said ultimately we have to come to the understanding. We have to help other people, not by just giving them some kind of mundane facilities. That's okay. Prabhupada said automatically devotees will get, those who are serving Krishna. An example also given of the fire, somebody sitting in the fire around, like fire in the house. And we're feeling very hot. And somebody comes and say, oh, you're feeling hot? All right, I'll give you ice cream. Please take ice cream. Take. Will we be happy to eat ice cream? No. It will melt in my hands. I want to get out from the house. That's permanent solution, not temporary ice cream. So therefore, it is said that people, they live life like ice cream. Enjoy before it melts, right? But there is another example of candle. Example of the candle. Once one match came to the candle and said, my dear brother candle, can I light you? And candle said, no, don't light me, because I'm too beautiful. I'm very nice, and I'm Mr. Universe. I am Miss America. I'm just Miss Nepal. I'm too beautiful. In fact, a few days ago, Miss Nepal came, Miss International. 2 Miss Nepal came to us here. And I was talking to them. I said, okay, particularly, you are Miss Universe. And she became top 10 numbers in the world. I said, that's fine, very famous. Ramtulas, no? Shringala. So right, she came. And she is pretty girl. She's very nice, very intellectual. And I asked her one question. What this position, you are striving to get that top position, very top position. And she is very nice, very intelligent, very kind-hearted. And I asked her, you reached that high position. Why do you need that position? Why do you need it? And she said very nicely, I want people to hear me. So I can be heard now by people. I said, that's super. But now what? What message you going to give them? Ice cream message or permanent message? What sacrifice, what ultimate message you can give, unless you have the spiritual message that we are not this body, we are the souls, we came from God, and unless you'll show them the way how to get out from the fiery existence, like forest fire. What is the use of your temporary scratching ice creams or some external help? And she became very much impressed, and she took Japamala, and she was I mean, she was very interested. So similarly, one match came to the candle and said, can I light you? And candle first didn't want to sacrifice her beauty. But then match said, listen, my dear candle, actually, by lightening you, I'm sacrificing my life. Very quickly, I will become black and ugly by lightening you. I can also stay in a matchbox very safely and peacefully, but it's not what we made for. We made for enlightened people. So let me sacrifice myself to light you. And then candle became a little ashamed. Oh, I'm such a big candle on this small candle, which are just, you know, sacrificing everything. It can be a Russian match or American match or Indian or Nepali match. It can be a small one, but by lightening ourselves and lightening some bigger match or bigger candle, we can give light to the people and help others from the darkness. And then candle said, all right, now I'm convinced, because your life is your lecture. Please light me. And that match sacrificed its life to lighten the candle. And candle can give light much longer time. But you can never have a cake and keep the cake. You cannot keep the beauty and at the same time sacrifice yourself. You have to sacrifice something tangible. And ultimately, as Krishna says, Mrityu sarvaharasya, at the moment of death, anyway, we're going to lose everything. I will take everything as a death. So therefore, it's Prabhupada said, Chanakya Pandit, if you're not using something, you're losing every moment. If you're not using this body and our facilities and our intelligence and qualification to serve the mission, then we are losing day by day. But when we're using for Krishna, in fact, it's not harcha, it's investment. We are not wasting, we are investing in a permanent bank account. That's intelligence, Prabhupada said. Does it make sense?
Yes, thank you so much.
In this way, we can make our own muscles. Because ultimately, Prabhupada said, everybody have to fly their own helicopter at the end. And the technician and engineer can simply teach you how to do it. But once you fly yourself, only you and sky. You see, Jivan to sukha dukha mela, sabko jana parega akela. And time is passing like that. Every moment and every morning and evening is like small sample of our life. The consciousness, we are actually dying every night for one night. And next morning we woke up. And don't expect your consciousness be better at the moment of death, what you have at the moment. People thinking, oh, boli, pachi, baad mein. Okay. No, jo kal kare to aaj, jo aaj kare to ab, paune pralaya hogi, bahuri karoge kab. People so stupid, people dying in benches, benches of people dying now everywhere, and people thinking, no, but not me. Look. And even devotees, you see, Bhakticaro Maharaj, you never know. We have very less time left, guys. So why don't we just do it? And we cannot do it alone. We can do it together only. Together we stand, divided we fall. And that's the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Bundle of sticks. You cannot break bundle of sticks. And there's so many things to do in the world. So by being together shoulder to shoulder, that gives satisfaction to Krishna. Because what can we give to Krishna? And the relationship between devotees and lovers, those who don't need anything from each other. You see? When the association going on, when somebody needs something from somebody, it's not love. Actually, it's a selfishness still. Subtle or maybe even spiritual. But when somebody is satisfied, he is happy on his own. And sometimes we are thinking, oh, Guru has to be obliged and thankful to us that we are recording his MP3 player lectures and downloading in desire.com, ISKCON Desire, and we are distributing his books. And this way, Guruji, he getting profit. So he has to be grateful to his disciples. No. Guru can live without his disciples. Guru only needs from his disciple his desire to serve Krishna. That's what attracts Guru. And that's why he took responsibility by giving Diksha to them. Because he only needs our desire to serve Krishna. That's all, to engage in the service. Otherwise, materially, we should not think that devotees, they need something. No. Real devotees, they satisfied. Santushta satatam yogi. And real love actually happens from the platform of satisfaction. when both parties are so happy and they're simply sharing Buddhayantas parasparam tushyanti charamanti cha. And that we have to, and that comes from satisfaction. Like Sadhu-Goswamis, they had everything. Mandalapatis, they had everything. But they tuchavad, they left everything as a garbage. Like Sanatana Goswami, a stone, paraspathana, philosophical stone. He kept that stone which can make out of iron gold. He kept it in the garbage. Like that, because he got much better stone. And what is that stone? Namo chintamani rupam Caitanya rasa vigraha punya shuddha nitram purna shuddha nitya mukta bhinnatvam nama namine. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bas. And that Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, at the moment of death, there is two things only remains, Jiva and holy name. That's all. So therefore, before you are dying, use everything for Krishna. Katam. Zero bank account. Nothing. Otherwise, we are losing. Somebody just wrote today morning, one devotee wrote me the message, I want to donate for you 150 Deshi Indian cows. And I am thinking, what to do? 150 Deshi cows. You know, this like, kaan niche ki or, like this, very nice. But now I am thinking, what to do now? And guess what? I'm tending to accept that offer. I don't know how I'm going to maintain 150 cows. We already have 180 cows. But it's like transcendental greed. Okay, one more, we can take more cows, no? They can, and they said, we can transport it to you. We can even shift it to you. We can, transportation charge will be no problem. So I was thinking, all right, such a wonderful opportunity. We're going to die anyway at the moment, you see, but we can give chance to so many people, show the example. Now coronavirus, and guess what? Some 6 months ago, we took 100 cows from government, and people were saying, you crazy. But now you see in that farm, we have milk, we have, you know, dahi, ghee, we have cow urine, cow dung, all the farmers around coming to us to get the cow done, and no cows are dying. Everybody are producing small babies now, and it's become so wonderful environment, you see. And now people cannot buy in Bagbatani or some big shopping complex. They're buying some kukurko dog's milk or ass milk. I don't know what's good, buffalo milk. But we have our own natural products. We have our land. Therefore, this is a secret. When we're taking this responsibilities for Krishna, Krishna will never let us down. Until date, we never had any problem with money to maintain the cows. Amazingly enough, actually, I'm telling you my experience, no problem. Somehow or other, money coming. I told Krishna that time, Krishna, I'm taking these cows. It's like 100 babies. It's such a headache, I know, because I'm brahmachari, na ghar ka na ghat ka. I don't have money. I don't know how we're going to maintain them. But anyway, it's your cows, okay? It's your company, Go Loka. And can you send from Go Loka? You cannot organize some to maintain your own cows. You love so much Govinda. And in Nepal, we have Radha Govinda Hari Thakurji. So, and amazingly enough, some people coming, some people sending money, somebody little by little, you know, believe me, we have plenty of, no scarcity so far. And I'm sure, I'm convinced, if we can take even more cows, it will not be scarcity. Because world full of good hearts. And Krishna will inspire everyone from the heart as a Paramatma. The same sincere people, whether it's cow or temple or preaching or book distribution. It doesn't matter in Nepal or New Jersey. We simply have to have sincere desire to serve Krishna and jump out of comfortable zone. Actually, this is a secret. Because it's fun. When you're in uncomfortable zone, then Krishna has to help you. And you have to surrender. When you're in comfortable zone, you cannot experience the taste of preaching rasa. But when you completely depend on Krishna, Rakshaititi Vishwaso, Guptritve Varnam Tatha, we can exercise that sacrifice spirit. And then only you can get the fire inside. Because you have to run in front of the engine, you know. Like train, and you're running in front of the engine, that you have to run. You cannot become relaxed. Therefore, we have to willingly take some responsibility in according to your capacity, of course, under the guidance of spiritual master or senior devotees. That's the source of being happy in any situation. At least that's my realization. Life is not easy at all. Grass is greener somewhere else, maybe. We have so many challenges in Nepal as well. But so far, we can meet ends together and we can stay together as Pandavas. They had so many troubles in forest, but because they were together, you know, Krishna was with them. And if Krishna was us, then what's the problem? Does it make sense?
Yes, very much. Thank you. Swati Mataji has a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. Really loved it. Prabhuji, my question is, you know, how can we engage children more in Krishna consciousness, and how can we convince them to chant, you know, at least one round or couple of rounds seriously and in a committed way?
Actually, it's the best example, of course. Mother is the best guru and father. We have so many kids here in Nepal. You'll be laughing, you know. We have few kids, Gurukulis kids, and if you can make fun for them, it becomes such a fun for them. We have to make this Krishna consciousness as something very, very interesting for them. We have to learn how to speak their language. You see, children, they love to play. They don't mind to chant because Krishna also baby, and children can chant Hare Krishna, provided we should not too much overload them with Bhagavad-Gita shlokas and too much philosophy. We have to make it a little bit fun for them. But at the same time, father and mother, they have to become ideal examples. Like Srila Prabhupada, he said, I used to wake up not because of alarm. I used to wake up because of bell ringing every morning, 5 o'clock sharp. My father, Gaur Mohan Dey, he was with my mother, they were doing puja. And by hearing that bell, I used to wake up every morning, Prabhupada said. And my father was devotee, and he was always praying to sadhus for my well-being of becoming Radharani's servant. But because I had very solid example in front of myself, my parents, you know, practicing sincerely without pushing me. And when parents are great friends, Suhridam, children, they feel very much attracted. At least my experience. I can see this also, you know, and I can send you some very nice videos and photos of kids. They willingly, yesterday only, we have one small kid, Shidhar, his name Shidhar. He is only 3.5 years old, maybe. Very small, like this. And they stay also near to the temple. And yesterday morning, I'm chanting japa, and I can see this Shidhar walking along in the temple area. He's very small, and he's walking. I said, where are you going? Where's your parents? I said, I'm going for Bhagavatam class. Very enthusiastic. I am going for Bhagavatam class alone. Nobody pushing him, nobody. And he comes in front of the speaker in Padmasana and listening very seriously. And when Kirtan going on, he is dancing like crazy. And he comes to my Brahmachari ashram and cleaning the floor. Not only him, some other boys we have here. Why? Because we're always making fun together with these kids. So I think if you can make it a little bit palatable and joyful for kids, so children, they don't mind to have fun, because spiritual world means always every step is dance, every song is every word is a song. So I think it also depends on the creativity of the parents. We have to be a little bit creative. Will it answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
We have Anna, who's also from Ukraine. She's joining us also part of our Bargain community. So Anna, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Patri Prabhu. Thanks so much for the cooling AC system, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami.
We have AC.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question about the metaphor that you made with a diamond and the person who really loved it. He could sell it because he really loved it. So my question is, I want to love it too, but I know I'm just in the beginning of that way. So I also want to preach. I have that desire. But if I can preach only to those who know even less than I do, and they usually want nothing to do with Krishna, would you recommend just going some level up first, or what would be your suggestion?
Very nice question, actually. When we are preaching, first of all, I have a formula actually myself. If you really want to preach and to be nice, you have to understand these 4 letters, nice. Needs, interest, concern, and expectations of people. You have to understand the needs. Nice to have the head among the clouds, but we have to keep our legs on the ground. Come down and be practical. We can understand what kind of level of people are they. There are 5 levels of people, of course, consciousness, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnana, Vijnana, and Anandamaya. All these things are there. Some people very, very, very materially dull and spiritually very, very much not developed yet. So we have to have patience and tolerance to come down and to take. So we have to be able to come down to their level and to touch their heart. You see? Simple formula. You can never expect people to lend their helping hand and open their heart unless we will be able to touch their hearts. How to do that? That's already expertise of the preacher. And people will always remember 2 things in their life, always. How did they feel when they first time met you and what you have done for them? That's psychology, simple. And then when people friendly, first of all, we have to make friendly relationships. That's very important. Maitrasa, karuna evacha. So we have to become very compassionate. And people can feel our compassion. They can feel our friendliness. And once we are friendly, then they can accept anything from us, really. Once Srila Prabhupada, some devotees brought some Formula 1 car driver, race driver, #1 Formula, Olympic game winner, golden medal in America. They brought to him this race driver. And Prabhupada was talking to him about the cars for 40 minutes. What kind of cars they have in India, what kinds of car. So sannyasis became surprised. How come Prabhupada talking about car? Mayavada, prajalpa, useless, nonsense talks. But after 40 minutes, Prabhupada asked him, oh, you're driving so high speed in the cars. By that time, that driver was very friendly with Prabhupada. He completely relaxed and completely ready to accept anything, whatever Swamiji will say. And that moment when Prabhupada saw that this mud became very soft, he can make anything out of that. He said, when you're driving the car very high speed, are there deaths rate? People dying? Oh yes, every day somebody dying. So what will happen after death? Do you know? No, I don't know. Therefore, and full speed preaching started. But you cannot place the seed in the pitch road or some not fertile road, mud. You have to prepare people and give them according capacity. In Hindi, there is one saying, Karm kamandal kah kahe tulasi kah gaye sai, sarita jal nadi kub adhikam bunde ke samay. So it means, depends on your container, karm kamandal. Even you can get ocean, river, or well, you will not be able to get 1 drop more than your container allows you. Therefore, duty of the preacher, not just to demonstrate and show your knowledge and impress people by how great renunciate or intellectual you are. No, our compassion will be to understand their level and give them as much as they can digest. So we can take them next step, 1 step ahead, 1 step, and guide them, not just drop and forget them. No, we have to touch their heart, catch their hand, and carry them if we can. But don't give advice unless you are hired. If people, you have to understand mentality. If they are not inquisitive, don't try to impose yourself and give them answers unless you are asked for that. Very important. In that way, we can be able, and Madhyama level, you have to become also a little bit more advanced. And from Kanishta, we have to come to Madhyama. In Madhyama, devotee, he can discriminate how to associate with whom. Envious people he avoids, innocent people he helps, equal people he makes friends with, and seniors he's serving sincerely, selflessly. In that way, you'll be able to touch the heart of all categories of people. Does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Haribo, welcome.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice class, loaded with so much of tips and tricks. One point I would like to request, you mentioned that 3 locks in the advancement to accept something. And can you please rephrase and explain it again?
Can you repeat 3 lakhs? What is it?
3 locks. You mentioned 3 types of locks. I know that. You started with that.
Yeah. Three types of lock. I know that.
Yeah.
That's the lock.
Yeah.
One
So
person thinking, I know that. It means you put 3 locks already to understand something. We always should think that I am full number 1. I don't know anything. Even we are hearing the same thing again and again. You never know, because knowledge given by Krishna, Jnanama Pohanamcha, Krishna can give you in the heart some inspiration. By hearing the same thing again and again, you can get some new meaning, new angle. It's like diamond. Because all teachings of Krishna, they are like diamonds. And diamond can shine from different angles, differently. You see, depends on the angle sun is shining. So sometimes same story or same shloka can open different size and the different colors. So if you open, my mind is like parachute working when it's open. But proud people, they always thinking, I know that, finish. They will not be able, they already put the lock. That's why inquisitiveness, we are eager to hear from everyone. Because Krishna can reciprocate. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he said that before you're reading Bhagavatam, you have to offer obeisances to each and every word of shloka. Like Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. So you're reading Narayanam Dandavat. You have to offer obeisances. Then Namaskrityam Dandavat. Naram Chaiva Dandavat. Etc. etc. You know, each and every word of the shloka of Bhagavatam, you offer obeisances and then sit down and listen what Bhagavatam going to tell you. You understand? Light gun.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Om Agyaranti Mirandas. Jai Nepal. But amazingly enough, in Nepal, you know, I was in Hong Kong once, some years ago. And in Hong Kong, it was one article in newspaper. They were writing about New York. New York never sleeps. But Hong Kong never yawns. Oh, so busy, so much light there. And one businessman, Vinod Agarwal, once he told me, you know, if in Hong Kong light will go for 1 minute, it will come billions and billions of, damage. It will be like complete crisis, economical crisis may take place. Huge loss. Therefore, people, if light goes for a few minutes, it's already big psychological stress in Hong Kong. But in Nepal, we didn't have light for 20 hours. Can you imagine? 20 hours, no light. Only 4 hours to charge mobile telephone government was giving at night. Obi raat mein. So you have to wake up at night to charge your mobile. And people happy. So like that. Because Santushti Param Sukhi, because somehow or other, if they're satisfied with bare minimum, and still they have sense of religion inside the heart, that will save the world. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best staying in the challenging situation of coronavirus. But actually, I tell you once, seriously, my opinion, coronavirus is like agent, super agent of Sankirtan Yagya. Krishna sent this virus to churn and to make people more serious. People become so serious now. They're asking so many questions because many of them, they're afraid. Bhayadvitiya biniveshatasya. And I have so much katha and satsanga as I never had before coronavirus. Really, every day from different countries, 2-3 Zooms we have. So I'm really sometimes have to find out the time to take rest. So much katha and inquiry and association. So you never know. It's hidden. It's a blessing of Krishna in disguise, because so many other viruses are there, so many deaths coming, but people now taking death seriously. Before they were not that serious. Enjoy, 3 din ka jeevan hai, jo kal kare to parso, abhi jeena parso. But now people shaken because economic crash, psychological, social system crashed, communication, no transportation, no flights between the countries. Now people are forced, and we have the year of the rat, rat, chuha. We are now in the rat year. And amazingly enough, one businessman told me, Guruji, even this life is like rat race. Even you can win this material rat race, at the end you are still the rat. Information, no transformation, nothing happened. But we have to change ourselves and to become not rats, but we have to become dogs at least. Dogs of Vaishnavas. Hey Vaishnava, Thakur, ami apnar kukur. We have to learn to serve devotees like dog. And one Prabhupada said dogs have very good quality, bafadar, loyalty. That's very, very important quality, to be loyal to the mission. And this Kantimala means we are dogs of Srila Prabhupada and Parampara. And you'll be surprised to know, recently in our ashram, 1 month ago, one dog came. We didn't invite this dog. It just came, very black. I give name to this dog, Kalia. And this dog lying down and serving all the Vaishnavas, coming for Bhagavatam class even. Can you imagine? I'm trying to kick out this dog, and this dog living in Brahmacharya ashram. And every self-appointed seva, self-appointed, every night running around barking on everyone. Snakes and other things, maybe some creatures coming and some even unwanted guests coming to temple, is going and barking at everyone, at night especially. So, because he's showing I do some seva, so tomorrow morning breakfast, he's working to get some breakfast. Sometimes I'm looking at this dog lying down near to my room. So get out from here, doesn't go, always waiting for Mahaprasad. So loyal to devotees and brahmacharis. So we can see, even dogs can do some seva. And even nobody giving you seva, you self-appoint yourself and do some seva yourself. So you can get prasadam. Prasada lesha nugrihita evahi. You can get little prasada and mercy from Krishna and Guru. Thank you so much. And my pleasure to get your association together. It's very deep topic.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And wonderful. Wish you all the best. Keep in touch.
Somebody wants to know about your cow program there. How can they help?
Huh?
Some devotee wants to know about your cow program there, and if they can help in any way of sponsoring a cow.
Well, everybody welcome. Many small hands do big work. And ultimately, I'm telling devotees, see, it's not the burden of, it's burden of love. Anyway, actually, when we're doing something, we're not doing this for ourselves or for Patri Das or for somebody. No, we're doing actually for ourselves. We actually opening that royal bank account in Krishna's Goloka Vrindavana account. And particularly serving cows also, it's nobody became poor by sponsoring one cow or some bags, few sacks of grass. But it goes for permanent deposit. What we do actually, we just simply trying to revive them for the medicine. Now, luckily, cows not dying. Before they used to die and just be neglected. And we are still collecting cows from the streets. And we basically need some grass. Monthly, what we need monthly food and some for few laborers, because we have 4 brahmacharis there, but we have to keep few laborers also. So we need some salary for the laborers. That's all. Otherwise, cows, they're maintaining themselves basically. We simply need some little bit food for them, and some maintenance charge. That's all. So it's not very much, but I would suggest if you really want to do, you take some permanent seva, like for example, okay, let me every month to donate this much, but every month. this much, 2 rupees, $5, $20, whatever it is, and collect. And can you imagine 100 people donate $5 only? And we have also Ram Tulsi Prabhu, luckily we, with Krishna's arrangements, we have some way in connection, right? Save Nepal, no? We have there. So anyway, he can explain. Ram Tulsi Prabhu, he is representative of Nepal in your Glorious Yatra. So we are very, very close friend of mine, and we are like working as a team. So you can keep in touch with him, and it doesn't matter, it shouldn't be huge. It has to become from heart. And my suggestion, do it not only one shot, boom, but explosion, but do it regularly in Sattva-guna. $5, $20, $50, whatever, but do it regularly for 1 year at least, and you will see the result. You will start to feel satisfaction. And one thing you will start to feel mamata. I know some people, they adopted cow, and we give names, some Ganga, Yamuna, whatever. And when cow now producing the babies, those grihastas in Nepal, it's like their own extension family, children, like that. And when we're eating according to Vedic scriptures, before we eat, we have to put 1 roti and 1 sabji for cow. No? 1 plate we have to keep for the mother cow separately. So because we cannot keep it at our home, because we don't have cows, unfortunately. So we can keep the cost for 1 plate every day. How much 1 plate cost? $3, whatever, per day. So you can see 30 days, $3 per plate. How much will be? $90, $100. Per month, somebody can put $100 for the cow, just as a plate. So we become free from so many sins and Brahman Hatya, Go Hatya, with so many, knowingly or unknowingly, we committed so many problems in life. So, but putting 1 roti aside every day, not roti, but at least we can put $1 aside at least per day for the cow. And I'm sure everybody can do it. Even I can do it. I am doing that. So why not other people? But main thing, it's not, we can join hands together. You'll see the wonderful teamwork and great satisfaction. And with, of course, if there is such a desire, and I'll get conviction myself, I'll take even more 150 cows. Why not? Because they're slaughtering so many millions of cows. Can't we as a devotee save at least few hundred cows? I'm always telling to people, can't we do something practical like that? And to set the example, I strongly believe that Nepal is also, in our case, is a very religious country. They're completely frustrated, as I say, they frustrated, they between crying, wife of 2 husbands sitting and crying. Oh, sorry, husband of 2 wives. Too many wives, you don't know whom to please. So similarly, this president, that president, and people, they're tearing apart the country, And now okay, we like to have a king back. We want to have some dharma back. Before it was nice. And that reminds me the story from Panchatantra. It was one jackal full of mosquitoes, so many mosquitoes. And this drank so much blood, sucked so much blood from him. And all mosquitoes with big, big bellies of blood. So another mosquito came and said, hey guy, brother, why don't you shake these mosquitoes? They're sucking your blood. I said, no, it's okay. Let them sit. At least they already drunk up to the neck. Now they're not hungry. If I will shake, new hungry will come and they will suck double blood from me. So let this old one sit. At least they are satisfied already. So that's the situation. People realize that people so selfish. They're stealing money. They're robbing the country. But okay, best profit from bad bargain. Because if you will shake or remove these guys, new hungry will come and start to suck country and people double tax and durbhikha piritaha. Forget it. That's why they said 1-eye uncle better than no uncle. But we have 2-eye uncles, devotees. We have 2-eye father, not uncle, Krishna. And therefore he gave us the vision. So now people realize, now better we can accept Krishna because he Gyana Dipena Bhashvataha. He gave us the vision. So that's why difficult situations sometimes also welcome, as Kunti Maharani says, because it gives us the chance to remember Krishna. And gives us the chance to join the hands and serve in these difficulties together. All right? So please kindly contact Ram Tulsi Prabhu. If anyone would express desire, you are most welcome. And it will be on your permanent deposit in Goloka Vrindavan bank account.
Vijay Prabhu, who's on the call, he would like to give 501.
Haribo,
And he's already transferred some. Prabhuji, would you mind sharing in summary, in a nutshell, your journey from as a commander in the Russian army to a brahmachari leader in Nepal? What happened?
In nutshell, huh? That's really challenging. Huh? In nutshell, usually you have to give me a mantra to stop me because it's a lecture itself. But in nutshell, I was a commando army officer and I was walking once under the ground metro, and one guy came to me and gave me the book Bhagavad-Gita, and he told me that you can find spiritual enlightenment in this book. It's spiritual knowledge. And I opened, and it was in the battlefield, and I thought, come on, spiritual instructions in the battlefield, how is it possible? Because I thought spiritual knowledge must be somewhere in Himalayas, in some ashram, guru, some mystical something. And this battlefield between two commandos, Arjuna and Krishna, guys with fully armed guys, spiritual knowledge, what you're talking? And this guy said, this is book only for military people, only for VIP, for very intelligent people. Are you very intelligent? And he actually played with my false ego. He said, of course I'm intelligent. What are you talking about? It's for you. You are qualified. And as a challenge, I bought this book. And when I came to home, I could not read even one line actually. Dhritarashtra Vacha, this one line I had to read for 10 minutes. What a name, huh? I was really surprised. Heavy book, huh? for very intelligent people. One line to read, very difficult. For me, Sanskrit was like Kalakshar Bas Barabar, very difficult to read. But I completed the book and I realized that I am a very insignificant person. And slowly I found that this is so many wonderful principles which can be practically applied in life. And then I found that this is also another army of Krishna. And I don't see any difference between army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and military army. Same discipline, same morning time. But in army, we had to wake up by some sound of siren. But here we're waking up automatically. 3:30 baje, 4 o'clock morning for Mangalarati. There we have to do by force. Here we are doing by spiritual force from inside. And same discipline. And then I was thinking, if you have to do something practically, in Nepal they have this wonderful song. Never give up, only forward. And that training I found is very useful, army training in Russia. It makes me disciplined, obedient, tolerant, so many other wonderful qualities. By looking back, I really appreciate my training in army. So action is the same, aim different. And then later on, I really wanted to learn something more. When I was 28 years old, I told to my guru, I want to go to Gurukul. I said, are you mad or what? It's already time's up for Gurukul. But better late than never. And I went to Mayapur and I spoke to Bhakti Vidyapurna Maharaja at that time. I said, can I join Gurukul? Brahmachari Gurukule Basanta Dantam Gurum Hitva. He said, okay, but it's not too late for you. I said, no problem. And he said, okay, are you ready to clean the toilets? And I said, I'm ready. Because that time I was ready already. Army made me ready by cutting my false ego. And for 1 year I was cleaning toilets in Gurukula Mayapur and I was studying. And then my Guru Maharaj told me, okay, now time for preaching. Don't sit and enjoy Mayapur facilities. And he sent me to Bangladesh to preach in Muslim country and said, you have to learn Bengali language also, okay? We will speak with you in Bengali language. And then after Bangladesh preaching, he sent me to India. One king from Benares, Raja Kashi Maharaj, he donated to us beautiful land on the bank of Yamuna. And when we came there, there were a few devotees, Madhai Prabhu and Suvigraha Prabhu, Bengali. And he donated this land and he said, king, he personally asked me, can you make one temple for Krishna? Me and his grace Madhai Prabhu. So I said, why not? We can try. Of course. And that king was 90 years old. Real king, Kashi. Same king from the same dynasty from which were this Amba, Ambika, Ambalika. You know, Bhishma Pitamaha, he won them in Swayamvara. Same dynasty, very spiritual king. And he knew Srimad Bhagavatam by heart, 18,000 shlokas he used to speak. So he was a religious king, he has big palace on the bank of Yamuna, and he gave us piece of land. No papers, nothing. Take, my son, make temple. We asked him, what about papers? I am king. I can be, I'm a big mustache he had. I am king. And he gave us. Later on we make a paper, but then I brought one architect from Russia. We installed beautiful deities from Rajasthan, Radha Beni Madhava, and we make nice Russian style Christian Hindu temple. Beautiful structure, marble temple we constructed. And after everything was over and I was about to enjoy the position of vice president there, and I was just about to enjoy, my Guru Maharaj told me, no, enjoy, get out from here, go to Nepal preaching. And in Nepal it was real war. Ram Tulasi Prabhu will tell you more. When we came, it was like Maoist fighting, they killed the king, bombing everything. And when somebody donated for me Mercedes-Benz bus, donated to me. And it was new bus. I entered, first day, I entered the border of Nepal. And very first morning, I was smashed, accident, one big truck smashed us and we fall down from the mountain. Oh no, I was thinking, welcome to Nepal. What a warm welcome. It was too hot welcome. So, but we didn't take it bad. We just took it as a good sign. It means we are going in the right direction. Too many obstacles means we are going in the right direction, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, he was very sick and family disease and crisis and financial crisis. He said, very good. In his autobiography, he wrote, so many problems I have in my life. It's a very good symptom. It means we are going in the right direction. Then we came and then we started our preaching in Nepal. No language, no culture, no money, nothing. And that's when I was telling you to get out from comfortable zone, I'm telling you from my personal experience. Then you have to depend on Krishna. There's no other way. Unless you have that experience, very difficult to believe Krishna. Until date, Krishna never betrayed us. He always sending people some funds, and somehow we are still putting smile on our face. So we have to smile. I will smile through the sadness, like shining sun through the clouds. I overcome my madness, free myself from doubts. When life will throw you down with no light around, I firmly put on tilak and chant the holy sound. Don't worry profit or the loss, surrender life to Supreme Boss, and far and wide try spread his fame by chanting sweet and holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's in capsule. Shortest biography I ever told.
Very, very entertaining and thank you. Very inspiring.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I wish you all the best and we'll be keeping in touch.
Devotees are texting me and asking me, when will Prabhuji come again? What should we say?
Well, kabe habe bolo se dina amar. Airport khulicha, flight janecha, kabe habe bolo se dina amar. There is, actually, it is said, flights and airports now closed, not allowed, you see. Special reason, customs, they're not allowing anyone to travel. All world now on the knees. In fact, I was saying that, you know, the best solution, somebody told me, the real solution of all problems depends on the distance between the ground and the knees. Proportionately depends on the distance between the ground and the knees. We have to kneel ourselves. We have to become humble. Oh, everybody have to come on their knees and pray. But as long as people proud civilizations, they will never get any solution for any problems. It will be, and now you see reaction coming. Wuhan now under the water, tsunami, tufan, rain, all this reaction will come. America, such a prosperous country, even 1 year ago, now you see, hardly anyone
Did we lose Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, I think so.
Okay. Anyways, by the time he comes, so tomorrow, Ekadashi, we will have some program. We will announce tomorrow our Japa session, 6 to 8 a.m. Please join. And in the evening, 8:30, we will have some program. We will do some reading or have a class. So those who are interested, please join us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Since it's Ekadashi, we will have some Sangha. Prabhuji has dropped off. Let's give another 2 minutes. Maybe he will join.
No, battery finished, Prabhu. Sitaram.
His battery finished and he gave all his battery charge to us. And that's Vaisnava. He charged us up and his battery died. All right, Jai. So thank you all for joining today. And do take away something from the class. Remember, take some notes. And as he mentioned that live our life for others, whatever little bit we know we can share with others. And in parallel, it's not that we wait till we gain certain knowledge. It's not we wait till we become pure in our hearts, but we got to start somewhere, because by doing that, helping others, by serving, by pleasing Guru and Gauranga, that's the process. So there will never be a moment where we will feel that we are pure. So in whichever form, whatever qualities one may possess,
He's back.
Okay. Can we get a little tour of, are you in the temple?
I had to take my another one mobile astra, telephone astra, like in the battlefield. When one astra broken, you have to take another one, like Arjuna. Battery finished in that one because no electricity. I got another one. So here we have.
Are you in the temple? Are you in the temple?
Yeah, I'm in the ashram now.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you can get. Yeah. That was wonderful.
Say again.
Tour, Prabhu. No. If we want to have a tour, a little bit around.
Oh, you want to have a tour? Why not? Sure, I can. But let's see. I have actually maybe data not working. Wi-Fi, at least so far near to the temple, I can show you. We have Vishnu Mati here. Wait a minute. Can you see Vishnu Mati? This is very nice river we have. It's holy river.
Yes.
Because I'm afraid data is not there, we can lose connection. There we have, recently we constructed Brahmachari Ashram. And this is Vishnu Mati. You can take darshan of holy river Vishnu Mati. Can you see?
Yes, Prabhu.
So I'll take, we have beautiful waterfall also here. If you can see. So, no water scarcity. And there we have Goshala. I can send you better video. And there we have temple down. And it's beautiful actually, greenery. His Holiness Pravishnu Maharaj and Jayataka Maharaj, they acquired this land many years ago. Wonderful land. And now we have so many grass, our cows also. Here we have 30 cows as well. In temple we have also 30 cows, more than 30 cows. And another project we have 150 cows. I don't know. Oh, dog came, see? Kalia. Bus. So you see, I told you about the dog.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
This guy
Prabhu.
came, huh? Hey, Kalia. Hey. Anyway, so he's very humble, sitting near to our place all the time. Doesn't go anywhere. Let me check if I have data.
Prabhu, is there a guest house there?
Yeah, we have a guest house. just opposite to our ashram. It's there. We have a guest house. Nice guest house. Not many rooms though, maybe 10 rooms. But it's nice. I'll show you now guest house. Maybe it will reach out. Now you can see this guest house outside. We're growing. Now we're staying, brahmachari is occupying that guest house now. And we have growing our flowers also. It's a garden. We are maintaining, brahmachari is maintaining our flower garden for the deities. And now we are planting so many fruits in temple. This is a pomegranate. So for the deities. And over there is the mountains. You can see mountains. Our temple right in the mountains.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Now it's cloudy. See there? Mountains. Today is very cloudy. Otherwise, Himalayas it's called Shivapuri. Shivapuri place. Like that. So you're most welcome. Actually, it's a very beautiful place to visit.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
I'm just not going down because I think connection will be lost because it's in our ashram working only. Oh, let me try. I wish to give you darshan of the cows also. But let's make a separate session if you want. I can prepare some nice photos. I'll send all of you. Thank you very much for your
no problem.
Determination and enthusiasm. And this is really, sometimes I am learning from this dog. He's so humble, serving all the Vaishnavas. So that's why, who knows, it seems like his previous life he was devotee only. He was so eager for association. Kaliya. Bas. Okay, I wish you all the best.
Hare Krishna.
And
Hare
we will be
Krishna.
also taking baths on your behalf in Vishnumati.
Yay.
Hare
Krishna.
Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
From us. Hey. Hey Vaishnava Thakur, ami apnar kukur. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai ho.
Ananda Kure Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai ho. Patri Prabhu ki jai ho.
Shall we do a few minutes kirtan?
Yeah.
Hey, Haribol!
Akraman, Balaram, Hare Krishna. Even we don't have light, nobody can stop us to do kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But everybody have to clap. Everybody clapping. Those who are not clapping, they have to disconnect. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. दाऊ जी का भैया कृष्ण कन्हैया, दाऊ जी का भैया कौन?
कृष्ण कन्हैया, कृष्ण कन्हैया, कृष्ण कन्हैया,
बंसुरी बजैया
कृष्ण कन्हैया,
कृष्ण
कन्हैया,
कृष्ण कन्हैया,
कृष्ण कन्हैया,
माखन चुरैया, कृष्ण कन्हैया, माखन चुरैया,
Krishna Kanaya, Sarachaya, Krishna Kanaya, Sarachaya, Krishna Kanaya, Basuri Bajaya, Krishna Kanaya, Basuri Bajaya, Krishna Kanaya, Govacharaya, Krishna Kanaya, Govacharaya, Krishna Kanaya, Dauji Kavaya, Krishna Kanaya, Krishna Kanaya, Dauji Kavaya. Dina Dayal Prabhu, Dina Dayal, 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 Shyama Sundara Kanayalal, Dina Dayal Prabhu, Dina Dayal, Yashoda Nandana Makanalal, Dina Dayal Prabhu, Dina Dayal, Givaradhari Nanda Dulal, Dina Dayal Prabhu, Dina Dayal, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. And let us chant Nrisimha Arati together, because it's very relevant. Nrisimha Arati. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladala Dadai, Praladala Dadai, Hiranyakasi Purvaksana, Hiranyakasi Purvaksana, Silatanka Nakalaya, Silatanka Nakalaya, Ito Nrisinga Parato Nrisingo, Yato Yato Yagitato Nrisingo, Bahir Nrisingo, Didayan Nrisingo, Nrisingha Madhin Sharanam Prabhaje, Tavakara Kamalavare, Nakamadhika Nalita Hiranyakashipu Dhanurika Keshavadrika Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adhika Sindha Lalita Hiranyakashipu Dhanurika Keshavadrika Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jai Prahlada Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaj, Jai Prahlada Maharaj, Jai Prahlada Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaj, Jai Prahlada Maharaj, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Sarva Bhakti Vigna Vinasa Karuna Virus Nasana
Nrsimha Bhagavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Amazing. And this guy always standing and listening to that. You see? Doesn't go anywhere. Can you see? Hey, Kalia.
Yeah.
See? That's the perfection of life. To be servant of devotees, dog of Vaisnavas, coming and staying in our ashram. I am trying to kick him out, doesn't go. What to do? Okay, so inspiration. Haridas Thakur was praying in Mahaprakasha Leela when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, what do you want? Any benediction? He said, I want to become a dog in the house of Vaishnavas so I can get some remnants of the food regularly. That's humility. So we don't even know who is who. Who knows? Maybe this is some demigod came to get association of devotees and to get Zoom Kathavas New Jersey devotees. Huh? Hare Krishna. Ananda Kuri Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. I think
Jai.
stop now. You take rest. What time is it now at your place?
11.
Huh?
11.
7.
11 o'clock at night.
Oh, 11 o'clock. It's already too early. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, why we are wasting time at night? Let's do kirtan all night. Please take rest. Rest is best, wonderful test. Otherwise, time is waste. We have to take rest also nicely.
Maybe
And wake up early morning and set.
Maybe
Tomorrow, Ekadashi you have.
Here.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kuri Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining.
Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Everybody fired up? Start charged.
Yeah.
Save some energy for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Eva.
Hari.
Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.